Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Kedington News events listing for September. We're actually going to start just before September. There's something coming up on August the 30th, that's a Tuesday, and that's why I've got my father Peter Upton with me, because Dad, you're directing this year's Ketton Players Pantomime.
That's right, yes.
And this year's pantomime is going to be?
Mother Goose.
So an old traditional one?
Yeah, absolutely.
Excellent. And the read-through is coming up.
The first read-through will be on the 30th of this month.
That's the Tuesday night?
Yeah, Tuesday night.
And is it 7:30 as normal?
7:30 as usual. Until probably 9 o'clock. We won't go right the way through. But we'll give everybody a chance to read that night, who wants to read. And it will be followed by the auditions the following week, the following Tuesday and Thursday.
Okay. If people can't make the read-through but want to audition, that's fine.
That's fine, they don't have to come to the
Excellent.
audition.
And if people actually want to audition but for holiday reasons or perhaps can't make it next week, can they contact you and sort something out?
If they let me know, I can probably sort something out.
Excellent. Okay. And I can tell you from, well, as you know, quite some experience with pantomimes, it is some of the most fun you'll have all year. So, yeah, that is Tuesday the 30th of August, 7:30 for the read-through, auditions the following week.
Yeah, I mean, it is, as they say, good fun, and it's good fun whether you're one of the principal ones or in the chorus, whichever way around it goes. In fact, quite often the chorus are on there more than the principal side.
It's certainly all kinds of fun and just about everything you can do there.
Yeah. If anybody wants to help with, say, music or sound or lights or scenery or anything of that, fine, we'd be glad of new recruits.
In all branches, so backstage as well as on stage. Excellent. And the age range, well, the top age range is pretty much as long as you can stand up.
Yeah, absolutely. It doesn't help if you can stand up, but we might even be able to do something about that. We'll wheel you on.
Will you on, yeah. And the bottom of the age range, roughly? So I know it's roughly.
Yeah, well, probably about 8, 9, no, probably not that young nowadays. Probably 10 to 11.
And up to a certain age, it does help with their parents coming on as well.
The under 16s, we really need help with the parents. Nowadays, the rules are quite tight, and we need chaperones. In fact, we can be chaperones whether you've got children are there or not. So if you'd like to volunteer to be chaperones, we'd very much be appreciating.
Excellent. Thank you very much for that. And well, I'll see you there. Okay. Well,
that's if you get a part.
I could do chorus. Anyway, that's that event. The next event is September the 3rd, and that is Bobstock. Kedington's annual Music and Beer Festival returns to the Kedington Community Centre, opening at 1 p.m. and running deep into the night of September the 3rd, with untold musical wonders. Well, I say untold. I'm about to tell you about them now, so you'll know when to find your favourite acts. I will say, however, that the programme on the day can shuffle a little way in either direction, so I recommend you come and watch all of it, especially since we have a wide range of ales, ciders, wines and food available all day, and admission is free, so you'll have no excuse not to be there right from the beginning, which is at 1 o'clock, the kids' musical Bonanza, several of the village's younger performers. I will be honest with you and say I was genuinely surprised how talented some of the younger generation in this village are, so I expect it will be worth getting down there to see. First on, I believe, will be Electrode, but I know there are others, although names specifically have not yet been announced. At 2:30, we get the first of our adult performers, Tube, the brilliant brass group with the unconventional repertoire. followed on stage at 3 by a band you may have seen at the Steam and Vintage show at the end of July, Quaff, a top mix of rock, pop and whatever else they fancy from the last 50 years. And yes, that is me on bass. Incidentally, the reason we were so early in the set was because Simon wanted to get it out of the way so that he didn't have to wait till the end of the night to start sampling the fine selection of real ales on offer. After that, at 3:40, it's me! Yes! The Fools! They've finally given me a solo slot. Expect it to be interesting with the possibility of some dancing, especially the last number, which is going to be the world's first ever techno barn dance. Trust me, it'll be excellent. 3:40. I'll see you there. Of course, that means that at 4:20 we have to find someone fantastic enough to follow such an amazing act. And Bob's found it in the form of Lisa Porter, a Bobstock favourite with a stunning singing voice and a range of music best described as eclectic, in her own words in fact. Apparently, she will be joined on stage at some point by Tony Trott, who will be back later with his own band.
There's a fire starting in my heart, reaching the fever pitches, bringing me out the dark.
At 5 o'clock, we have Retro, described as two great musicians who play rock. Frankly, what more do you need to know? They are followed on stage at 5:40 by Ross, Simon and Hugo. Kind of like Peter, Paul and Mary, but not in any way.
You gotta move, you gotta move, you gotta move, child, you gotta move. When the Lord gets ready, you gotta move.
Half a Quaff plus Ross, so Simon is going to have to wait for his drink after all. He can have it while listening to Rachael Clarke, the brilliant singer-songwriter who's on stage from 6:20.
Lights broke across the darkest city night I've ever known. We talk about our hope.
The westering sun grows pale and wan. The days grow dark, the nights draw in.
At 7, another beautiful singing voice, and indeed somebody Rachael Clarke has shared the bill with before. Bobstock favourite Andy Adams brings a selection of folk to the stage. The 7:40 slot is currently vacant, but that could change very easily, either by accident or design. At 8:20, after huge success at last year's Bobstock, we have an ambient house set from DJ Kessler, aka Joel Stippick. He'll be going on till 9 o'clock, when we welcome to the stage last year's headliners, Stereo Jack. They put on a storming finish last year, so we know we'll have great things to expect.
Let me see your thoughts go!
But this year, the honour of finishing the night goes to another Bobstock returnee, the fabulous Ninjas of Rock. The only ninjas you hear coming from, well, quite some way off. And what a sound it is. On stage from 10. A brilliant way to round off Bobstock 2016. as I said, that's all afternoon and well into the night on September the 3rd. Entrance is free, but do support the event and indeed the KCA by buying a pint of what is always a top selection of real ale, ciders and the like. But Bobstock and the Pantomime auditions aren't the only things going on in September. On Saturday, September the 10th, we have the Kedington Horticultural Show. The rules are as normal. Entries must be grown within the parish of Kedington or by parishioners of Kedington Church or members of Kedington Garden Society, and must be delivered to the church between 9 AM and 11:15 on the day. I won't attempt to read the full list of categories, partly because it's very long, and partly because I'm not sure I can read things like heaviest marrow, or the longest stick of rhubarb, without it sounding like some kind of double entendre. So, to see a full list, you have to look inside the Ketton Review, which can be picked up from such places as Kedington Library for just £1. The Kedington Horticultural Show, on the other hand, is just 10p per exhibit to enter. Visitors can see the exhibits at the church and find out who the winners are between 2 PM and 3:30, after which exhibitors can pick up the exhibits. Anything not picked up by 4 will be put into a public auction in aid of church funds, which starts at that time. So, a great chance to pick up something for dinner, and no doubt at a great price too. Saturday the 17th of September will be a very busy day. From 11 AM onwards, we have the Kedington Wide Garage Sale. Various people around Kedington will be selling off things they no longer need, but that you might. Maps will be available for just 20p from about 10 days in advance, so get out there and find yourself a bargain. That evening, you have a choice of entertainment. On the one hand, you have the Bonanza Arms Quiz Night. All the normal rules apply, £2 per person, maximum team size of 6. There are cash prizes and the start time is 8 PM sharp. Alternatively, you may prefer a puzzle of a more deadly kind. If so, you can come along to a murder mystery night from the Ketton Players. This is also on the night of Saturday the 17th. You are invited to an engagement party. There will be a full fish and chip supper followed by a death. But not yours. You get to help out who perpetrated the foul deed. Dinner is included in the ticket price of £10, and options other than fish are available. As such, tickets must be purchased in advance, either from Kedington Butchers, the Nice store, or Sue Brown or Mary Upton, both of whom have phone numbers to be found on various posters around the village. Doors will be open from 7 for a 7:30 start, and our fully licensed bar will be open throughout. We finish the month with a race night at the Legion Hall. That's on Friday the 30th of September from 7 PM. There's a full fish and chip supper included, all for £7. There will be a licensed bar and a raffle. For tickets, contact Marion, whose phone number will no doubt be on a poster somewhere. And that is it for the month of September. A very full month. And, well, we'll be back to report it sometime towards the end of the month. And to let you know all the goings on coming up in October. If you want to catch that episode, you can subscribe to this YouTube channel. There's probably a button just down there if you're watching this on our YouTube page. Alternatively, you could go to keddingtonnews.co.uk where new videos appear as soon as I put them up on YouTube. Also there's a link to my Facebook page, and you can friend me there and I'll let you know all the events that are going on. So you'll know when that next video is. And until that time, cheerio.